All right, do I have everyone's attention up front? Please. So, on your notes for today, you have this sheet with old Snoop Dogg on the top right. Ha ha ha. All right, but it's Snoopy, right? And he's a dog. Snoopy Dog. All right. So, slope, an equation of parallel and perpendicular lines. This should have been covered in Algebra 1. So, if you're thinking, I've done this before, that's a good thing, because it should be easy, right? So let's just go over this again. Describe the relationship of the slope of parallel lines. Now, first of all, we know parallel means they don't intersect, right? Don't intersect. Lines that do not intersect. But do y'all know anything about the slope of parallel lines? Why don't they intersect? The slopes are, equal. Now, we haven't said that this year, but hopefully you remember that from Algebra 1, and if not, now you're getting this down right now. The slopes are the same. The slopes are equal. Or the slope is equal. Now, slope is m, right? If you remember y equals mx plus b, that formula, we have it over here on the side wall, mx plus b, and the slope, right? But if the slope is equal for a parallel lines, the b, the y-intercept, is not equal. The y-intercept is different, okay? So two things. The m is the same, but the b is different. All right, so the reason why we did our warm-up is if it's not y equals, then we need to solve for y. But if we look at this first problem, y equals, this one's ready to go. Now, let's see what we remember from Algebra 1. If we have an equation, y equals mx plus b, raise your hand if you think you graphed the m first. Raise your hand if you think you graphed the b first. Thank you. So, b is the starting point, okay? Now, some people forget that, or they don't look up here, or maybe it's not there, right? So, how do you remember this? B stands for beginning. On point. For real, right? Hashtag correct. Very good. All right, so B for beginning, and we begin on the y-axis, straight up and down, okay? So the only thing weird about that is that you start at the right number, the B, and then you use the M to find out your next point. So what's my B on this line right here? 3. So everybody, on the y-axis, up and down, put a point at positive 3. That's above the origin. So everyone's got that point? Yo. Let's see. So the next thing we got to use is M. What's my M here? Okay, so he said it correctly. It's negative 4 over 5. So if my rise is negative, which way am I going to go? Down 4. That's rising, right? And then I'm going to run 5. And I always run to the right, okay? Because I'm rising up or down, running to the right. So, again, negative, that means negative 4 over 5, which means down 4 and right 5. So let's do that. Starting at positive 3, we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then go over right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and put those 2 points like that on the graph off to the right, and then you want to draw a line through there. If you don't have like a protractor or a ruler, it's fine. Just go ahead and do your best. I'm looking for like good points though, so make sure you put those points on there. So mine's not perfect. It's all right. Now, the next thing says write an equation that is parallel. Now, what did we just say parallel has? What about the slope? Equal. And what about the y-intercept? Different. Okay, so I'm going to have y equals what? So the m stays the same, so I'm going to put what? Negative 4 over 5 x plus, and now I need to pick a different y-intercept. Someone throw out a number. We'll go with 5. Yeah, 5. Good. That's what I like to hear. So now we need to graph that second one, all you cool cats. In third period, right? So let's go ahead and graph this. What do I graph first, M or B? B for beginning. So let's put a point at 5. All right, and then we're going to do the same slope. Down 4, right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you connect those with a straight line as much as you can, you should have parallel lines that do not intersect. Okay? YOLO. Let's go to the second part of this front page. Okay? Now, I want to give you a minute to try this, but you're going to combine the warm-up with what we just did. So go ahead and rewrite this over here. Kind of give yourself some space. Negative 4x plus y equals negative 5. So if you look at your warm-up, the very first problem we did with your journal right next to you, right? You should be able to solve that for y. And then, in this blank down here, you write a parallel lines equation. Graph both of them. And I'll give you a couple minutes to try that on your own. Aight. If you hadn't yet, what do I need to move first on the left side? Okay, the negative 4x has got to go to the other side by doing the opposite. We can call it a loner, that's great. So what's the opposite of minus 4x? Plus 4x. Plus 4x cancels out. On this side, the same thing, plus 4x. And remember, your new step that you learned today when you solve for two variables is you draw this little arrow to remind yourself you don't combine things that are not the same. So the 4x goes in front of the minus 5, so I get my mx plus b, 4x minus 5. Bring down y equals, and is that ready to be graphed? Yes, because it's y equals mx plus b. So I want to write that same equation, well, similar equation, right? Same slope, y equals 4x. But instead of minus 5, I need a different b. What should I put? Sure, plus 5, why not? Okay, the only thing that you got to know when you're doing slopes of a whole number is that these slopes are over 1. Over 1. Because you got to do rise over run. Right, Miss Morrow? Right? Alright. It's going to be my ringtone. Alright, so. Whoa.
Pastor, author, and the Bible teacher.
That's funny. Okay, let's graph these. Mx plus b, what do we graph first, m or b? B. So start with this first one. My b is minus 5. And then my slope, 4 over 1, up 4, over 1. And like our friend told us, that we can continue that pattern so we can have straight lines. So up 4, over 1, up 4, over 1, up 4, over 1. And draw yourself a nice straight line, straight as you can. And then don't forget to graph the other one. You don't have to do it in a different color. It's up to you. And before, we'll see. So 4x plus 5, we start at positive 5. And again, up 4 over 1, down 4, left 1. So are those parallel? They should be. And that's the first part of the notes. That's as far as we're getting today. We'll continue tomorrow, so don't lose your notes with the Snoop Dogg on it. And by tomorrow, I meant Tuesday, not Monday and not tomorrow.